I just completed a 30-day decluttering challenge. Now, I have never done anything like this in my life, and my goal was to get rid of 1,000 items out of my home. And I did this almost 2 years ago, and I got 1,000 items out. This time when I started, I was about halfway through and like in the 300s, and I thought, I don't think I'm gonna make it. Welcome to the Peaceful Home. If you have been following along through this decluttering challenge, I am so excited you're here. This is the last video in the series. Of course, decluttering videos will continue, but we're done with this 30-day challenge, and I did make it to 1,000. I believe it was 1,011 by the skin of my teeth on the last day. I cannot tell you how good this feels. I'm going to count down 6 things that I learned in this challenge. Then I'm going to show you what I did with a bunch of my stuff, taking it to sell at a vintage flea market. Please excuse my voice if it sounds odd. It does in my head. I feel great, but my voice still sounds really weird. One thing I would like to say about this challenge is that I have been so impressed with you, with how many of you have joined in. Most of you had different goals, different ways and different numbers and different rooms and spaces that you wanted to declutter. But you set a goal, and I have loved reading the comments. Every comment is so encouraging. And a lot of times you guys are really sharing your story, your process, what you're learning, and that is helpful to everyone in the Peaceful Home community. I can't imagine that anyone has watched every video. If you have, would you comment below? I would really love to know that. But I would imagine you've caught some, maybe this is even your first video, but if you're going back and watching, make sure to comment and let me know what you're doing. You can even check back in for accountability. Okay, we're gonna dive in to the 6 things I learned. Number 1, trust your gut. Now, when I did my closet clean out, I tried on, oh, wait a minute, hold on. I literally put this aside so that I could use it for this video, and I almost forgot. I think what got me about this top is the pattern. Like, I would love to make a pillow out of this. It's just so beautiful. And I do love how it looks on a hanger, but I don't like how it looks on me. And you guys saw the hesitation in that video. In fact, both Amy and Dee commented that they didn't think it was very flattering on me either. Now, I knew that I didn't feel good in it. I knew that I didn't like how it looked on me. But I thought, well, I'll give it a try. But I think I knew deep down it was going to sit in my closet for a whole nother season. I knew it would. I tried it on one more time, and that just cinched the deal. This is going in the car today because this morning I loaded up my car with the rest of my donations. And I'm going to explain to you why I sold some things and why I donated others. The thing is, if I had trusted my gut in the beginning, I probably wouldn't have even purchased this. But getting rid of it isn't going to give me my money back, and I don't want it just taking up room in my closet. Number 2, listen to others. And this is what I'm talking about with the comments. When you guys comment, I learn things. Several of you are so sweet. You're like, do you mind if I give a suggestion? Like, no, as long as it's positive and life-giving, this is part of the reason for this channel. So we can all learn from one another's experiences. Now, I bought this pumpkin terrine in a thrift haul months ago. And I was so excited when I saw it. I thought it was the most beautiful thing, and I put it away to bring out for Thanksgiving. Now, this I have never worn, and as far as I know, this is only the second thing that I have donated or sold after never using it. Now, Deborah commented that the pumpkin terrine would be clutter for her because it's so specific to a season, to a holiday, and it takes up so much space. And that really struck a chord with me. I thought, I'm going to be storing something so big that I'm going to pull out for a month. I'm just getting to the place where I want my things to function in more seasons than just one, whenever possible. Christmas may be the exception. Anyway, thanks, Deborah, for the comment. It really got me thinking, and I did sell the pumpkin terrine at Junk in Your Trunk. You'll see it in my booth in a few minutes. Number 3, and this is probably my biggest takeaway. Know your season and understand your fantasy self. If you missed that video, it's in the playlist, Decluttering Your Fantasy Self. And this is the idea we have in our minds of the kind of person we want to be, the kind of life we want to live, how we would like our home to be. And it doesn't mean that it lines up with real life. It could mean that your fantasy self is something you imagined yourself doing that never came to pass, or something that you actually used to do, but you no longer do. And it's very hard to let go of that. If you have something that you know you are using that is serving you well, keep it. But if it's part of this imaginary life, get rid of it. Number 4, get a partner and do this together. The best way I can explain this to you is to send you over to Carol, my dear friend. Her channel is called My Blessed Nest, and Carol and I started our YouTube channels around the same time. She is an avid thrifter, and she has a booth at an antique store. Now, because of that, she accumulates a lot, and she took on this challenge full bore. I think she made 4 different videos about her progress, and it is so encouraging and inspiring. I will link her channel below. Take a look at it, especially the one where she has her friend come in from out of town to help her. She shares her results. She also was aiming for 1,000 items. I won't tell you where she ended up, but in her final video, she mentioned that having a friend with her increased the amount she was able to let go of. If you are struggling, get someone to help you. You can also take a look at the video that I just posted on decluttering a playroom. Now, that was going into a client's home, but it does show the power of having someone with you. In this case, I was there for her as a support. It really does go a long way with the questions, the doubts, and the fears that we have while we're decluttering. So take a look at My Blessed Nest. Tell Carol that I sent you over. Number 5, I learned that I need a plan for moving forward in regards to what I'm bringing in. Now, we talk about the 1 in, 1 out rule for some people that are doing serious decluttering, 1 in, 2 out, or 1 in, 3 out. Now that I've done such a major purge, I know that I can begin to make decluttering like 15 minutes a week part of my normal routine. But I also have to understand my spending habits. I think all of you know that buying things, even putting things into your cart, gives you a hit of dopamine. All those hormones, serotonin, the happy hormones, you probably aren't conscious of it at the time. But as you begin to retrain yourself to be aware, you will notice your emotions around shopping. We get that instant feel-good kick because we're getting something new. I know people that will purchase tons of things and take them back the next day. Now, I don't recommend that, but at least someone's not going over budget and bringing in too much clutter. But we have to recognize, is that really how we want to feel happy? Is it possible that we could pursue relationships and love better? That we could choose really healthy forms of bringing joy into our lives? Time of rest and recreation, times of connecting with God and with family and friends, doing hobbies that we enjoy that give us life, serving others. If we can recognize that those things will give us the same kick, we can reduce our purchasing and begin to get more clutter out. I did do a video a while back when I was really coming into this realization that when I'm thrifting, I'm not going to buy anything that I don't know exactly where it's going to go when I get home. Within reason. Sometimes I know I love this and it's either going here or here, but I'm not going to just put it in a closet, in the basement, in the garage. And if I don't have a plan for it, I'm not buying it. Now, it's already been over a week since the challenge ended. And in this week, I have donated even more stuff. And as I'm looking at all this stuff, I'm realizing I thought I loved this. I thought I couldn't get rid of this because in all the years of decluttering, I chose to hang on to these things. Now I'm getting rid of them and I'm just thinking, why did I have this? I'm not going to miss it. So my mindset is shifting and I feel like the more you declutter, the better you get at it and the clearer your mind gets as to what is truly important. Okay, I want to talk about junk in your trunk. There is a video in the playlist of should I sell or donate? And that's very important to consider what you're going to do with all your stuff. We did have a junk in your trunk sale coming up, and this is a vintage flea market at the station, which is an antique vintage shop in a little town called Springville. I think this was my 4th time and last selling at junk in your trunk. I truly believe that because I have gotten rid of so much. And even as I continue bit by bit, I'm not going to hold on to things so that I can sell. I'm going to be donating probably just a bag every week. So in the beginning, I did know I was going to be at Junk in Your Trunk, and I put tons of stuff aside. My daughter Joanna and I rented a booth, got up at the crack of dawn to get up there and get everything set up. We had an amazing day. People were coming and just snatching everything up. We had several repeat buyers, like people that came back 3 times to purchase more. Sometimes I wonder about where they're going to put all that stuff, but that's not my problem. I have to trust that people are sticking within their budget and buying things intentionally. I often see so much of myself in our customers because I know I used to snatch up every pretty thing that I could get my hands on. And I have to tell you, I am so happy with this change in my life. It really has shifted things to what I value and what is important. I'm completely sidetracking right now, but junk in your trunk is something that also helped me learn that I don't want to keep doing this, the constant in and out. I don't want to keep having so much build up that I feel I need to take it all and sell it. So it was a success, and I also did a little bit of shopping. It was so fun to look around at the other booths. Junk in Your Trunk and the station are such an amazing community. And although I won't be selling, I will definitely be going and buying intentionally because I want to see so many of these people. A lot of the vendors I have known for years. My friend Terry is there every single time, and I always find a treasure at her booth. It's become a bit of a tradition for me and my daughter to go, and even to take friends if they're in town. Now, after selling, I was getting through the decluttering challenge, and I still had tons more. And I had packed it all up. I had done the should I sell or donate video, and I thought I'm donating all of it. And when I loaded it up in my car, I had that panic of, this is a lot of stuff. This is worth a lot of money. I should definitely do a yard sale. So I ended up taking a bunch of stuff and dropping it off at our church. Our church does these DIY yard sales because we have a really great location in town. And we invite members of our congregation to come and have their own yard sale out on the lawn. It's really fun, and I've sold there many times. So that was my plan. And as I continued to declutter throughout the month of October, I was putting everything aside at the little guest bedroom we have at the top of the stairs. Now, we ended up having someone come to stay, and I had to clear everything out and put it somewhere else. Then I moved it back. Then we had someone else come and stay, and I had to move it out again. And then I realized I don't even want to sell it. I just want it to go away. That was my tipping point, and I loaded everything in the car this morning, and I'm taking it straight to a thrift store after I film this video. So what have you learned in your decluttering journey? I would love to hear your thoughts on the things that I learned and any tips you have for me and your fellow viewers. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I hope you'll consider it. It is completely free. Just hit my photo at the end screen. I talk about all things home and family, and I am long overdue for some family videos. For those of you waiting for parenting videos, they are coming. Take a look at the link right here for the entire decluttering playlist. And thank you so much for joining me today on The Peaceful Home. God bless you.